Misha is the new upcoming 4-star character that'll be releasing alongside Black Swan at the start of version 2.0. And ever since he was drip marketed, I was both very curious but also very concerned about how his kit would end up, because he does have the same element and path as Jing Liu, and we all know Jing Liu is an absolute beast in the game. So today we're going to go over what we know about his kit so far, and then I'll also give my thoughts about him and some possible synergies for him team wise. So starting with his gameplay, so as I've said in the other analysis videos for the 2.0 characters, we don't have his full kit yet because the live stream, it had a little bit of a different format since it is the new region kind of live stream. So they really just gave us some bits and pieces. So firstly, they told us that the more skill points that the team uses, the more Misha will get buffed. They didn't really specify how he'll get buffed, but this could possibly be a talent effect or maybe something that builds up for him, like a certain number of charges. Of course, we'll have to see when we get his full kit for that. Ultimate can also deal damage to multiple enemies. In the footage that they had, it only damaged 2 enemies, so maybe there is either a bit of RNG, because I think 2 enemies is a very unique number, because usually like 1, 3, or 5. Since in the fight they were in, there were 5 enemies, so maybe there's some kind of like RNG thing, or maybe the skill points he used builds up to how many enemies he can hit or something. Well, of course, we don't know for sure, but this is just purely speculation from what we saw on the stream. He also does have a freeze chance somewhere in his kit, which could be very useful, I feel. And that puts him in a bit of a better spot, because rather than being like a damage focused destruction character, like Jing Liu is, I think him being more like a sub DPS role could be better. And I think that freeze chance can definitely help him with that. And his technique, you know, of all the things with this character, because I mean, when I saw the character design, I was like, Misha's kind of mid. But the one cool thing they gave Misha, they gave him a technique that stops time in a designated area and completely just stops every enemy still, which is really cool, honestly, as a technique. They didn't go into depth too much of what it does besides that, but hopefully it does have some cool effect, and maybe a little like lower speed or something for a couple turns. So I do think overall he's going to end up being a sub DPS role rather than a main DPS role. And I do think with the freeze chant and also him benefiting from the use of skill points, he can have some very interesting utility. So I do think that running him, I don't think he's going to have any kind of like specific character that pops out to be as, oh, they're going to be amazing, they're a really good combo. But I do think more so he can be a very solid like sub DPS character that can benefit from your main DPS using a bunch of skill points, and then also provide value himself with the freezes and any other, you know, part of the kit that we might not know yet as well. But yeah, I don't think that Misha's going to have a very specific niche, and I do think, you know, that it's a double-edged sword in a sense, because I think characters that have their niches in terms of, you know, what characters work the best with them and whatnot have been, you know, very good throughout the game. But I do also think that, you know, not having a niche could be good for him, because he mainly seems to be like a sub DPS / like freeze support. Like I don't think he's not gonna buff his allies at all, but I do think that him being able to freeze and just provide more chances for teams to, you know, deal more damage, or have him deal more damage and then them freeze, and having that utility will be really solid as well for people that might want to run him as just like an extra character. But of course, you know, we don't have his full kit, so I can't really speak too much on what he is or isn't going to be able to do outside of what they said on the stream. He could have some very interesting abilities that they just didn't mention, but I'll go over that once we get his full kit in about a week, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, overall, as I said, he does have the potential to be a solid sub DPS character in my opinion, but we'll have to wait and see until his full kit is available to, you know, make the call of, do I really think he's going to be mid, or is he going to have some value that I'm just not seeing with what we know right now? But yeah, let me know in the comments down below what you all think of Misha. But with that, I'm going to end it off here. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, definitely be sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, ring that notification bell, all that fun stuff. But with that, I will see you all next time.